but I'll be on it always, always,
Hi, welcome back to the Pink Chemist. So in this video, we are going to go over percent composition, okay? Now, if you have not watched the molar mass video, this will be a great time to actually pause and go and watch the molar mass video and then come back over to the percent composition. However, if you have already seen that video, let's go right ahead and jump right into our examples. Now, if you look at the bottom right-hand corner, you will see that there are some steps to calculating the percent composition. I also want to remind you that you want to make sure that you keep some space because finding the percent composition will require a lot of work to be shown, okay? And if you are one of my students, you know that you must show your work for every step of your percent composition, okay? So let's go ahead and get right on into it. So the example that we're going to use is Ti3P5. All right. So we know that the first step is to find the molar mass of each element in the compound, okay? And we learned in the last video that the first step to finding the molar mass is to go ahead and separate your elements. So we're going to separate our element. We have Ti and we have P. So we separated those elements. After we separate those elements, we're going to write the subscript that is next to each of those elements. So I know that I have 3 Ti's and 5 P's based off of the subscript that is next to that element, okay? Then I am going to multiply, okay? This is where you're going to need your periodic table. And in your periodic table, you are going to identify the atomic mass of each of those elements. Now, your instructor may require you to write the decimal number, but for the sake of this video, we are only going to write to the nearest whole number. So for Ti, the atomic mass is 47.88, but we are going to round, so we're going to do it to 48. All right, and then for P, it is 30.97, but we're going to do 31. Okay, so after we do that, we want to go ahead and get our calculator, and now we want to multiply 3 times 48, which is 144. I want you to make sure that you leave room because you will have to put your percent composition formula in place. Then 5 times 31 is 155. Okay? So we found the molar mass of each element. So the molar mass for Ti is 144 grams per mole, and for P, it is 155 grams per mole. Next, we want to calculate the total mass of the compound. Now, for those of you that's confused about what that looks like or where that comes from, the percent composition formula states that we have to have mass of element divided by total mass of compound times 100, okay? So what we did up here, this 144 grams per mole, that is the mass of the element for Ti. Next, I am going to divide. Now I'm going to get my total mass of the compound. Now, in order to get your total mass of the compound, you are going to add 144 plus 155. So you're actually going to add up the mass of each element to get your total mass. So we're going to add 144 plus 155, which is 299. So it equals 299 grams per mole. Okay. So you're going to take that number and you're going to put it below the mass of the element. Okay. For both elements. All right. And then you're going to go ahead, once you do that, multiply that times 100. Now make sure that you're not using your cell phone calculator. Make sure that you're using like an actual real calculator so that you don't get your math mixed up, so that you're not having a calculator issue. So we're going to go ahead and do 144 divided by 299 times 100, which gives us 48.16%. And I'm going to do 2 places after the decimal, okay? So I'm going to write my answer 2 places after the decimal. Then I'm going to go down to P, which is 155 divided by 299 times 100, which gives me 51.83. I'm going to go ahead and round that 83 up to 4%. All right. So in order to check to make sure that my percent falls in the 100% range, I'm actually going to go ahead and add up. Just to check my work, I'm just going to go ahead and add 48.16% plus 51.84%, which when I add those up, so I got 48.16 plus 51.84, which it gives me 100%. This lets me know that I am in the right ballpark and I use the right numbers for my percent composition. So in the end, my percent composition for TI is 48.16%, and my percent composition for P is 51.84%. Oops. Percent. And this is my percent composition for TI3P5. And I'm done. All right. So I know that was a few steps, but as long as you keep going along, it'll get easier. All right. So next.
Don't play with it, don't be dishonest. Ay, still not